Howdy, hello, and Alpha Phenomenon Gaming again tonight. I did already do this, but the game crashed on me, so I'm going to go back, and I'm going to do it now while I'm with you guys. I just wanted to knock it out real quick, but I guess the game didn't want my troops to be happy. Boost morale for me. There we go. Want the game to save. Game. Perfect.
Mee's force reached Cavaldon, a small, run-down town.
The Blackclads, they've a strong garrison in place,
Proclaimed her scouts upon returning from a foray.
and they stand prepared for a siege. Their stores overflow, and we've seen ballistas, scorpions.
Cavaldon can be taken,
Began Reynard hesitantly.
but not without losses. Considerable losses.
A retreat. Is that what you advise?
I fear the soldiers wouldn't take to such a course. They're eager, Your Grace. They've a fire in them. Order a retreat and you could devastate morale.
Our losses may be heavy,
Said Mee, drawing her sword.
I think we should
but
do
I'll
it.
make certain the vile invader suffers even more. Order the troops to prepare. We will attack.
Soon after, the Lyrians moved on Cavaldon, war drums rumbling in step to their march. Upon the walls, the Nilfgaardians stood poised to defend.
My cat is being cute and playing with a little ball. This will last one round. Okay. One round, huh? I want to try out my new card.
I won't leave a single city to these
Damn
invader
it.
scum! Valyria! For Rivia!
My...
Oops, I did not mean to do that.
Ours is not to reason why.
Wise choice.
We must bring down their walls! Crush them!
I smell a leak.
I'll relieve you of that pouch.
Nilfgaard!
Left, right, left, right.
Order!
Oof.
Long live me!
In retreat!
Your life is mine now.
Got any victuals? Hungry like a wolf, I am.
Again and again and again.
Of course, as you wish, master.
An army's a waste of time for one like me.
I was kind of hoping that they would attack me more. Like, destroy something. Destroy my units so I can play my other cards. I'm just gonna see what happens.
Elherzer.
Yes. Excellent, Seifel!
A highly curious case.
Elherzer.
We did it, Your Grace. The city is ours.
Huh. I didn't know what would happen.
The Nilfgaardians had indeed prepared well, with grapples to repel hook ladders from the walls and long spears to rain down upon attackers far below. Meve managed on the fourth attempt to breach the defenses, but did so scrambling over the corpses of her own men. The Queen was in the field tent when Reynard arrived with surprising news. To be heard over the groans of the wounded, he had to raise his voice.
Your Grace, a delegation of townsfolk. They seek an audience urgently.
Dozens of burghers stood before the tent. Between them and the Queen, a man knelt in shackles. His face was blooded as if he'd endured a vicious beating just moments before.
Who's this?
Our blacksmith, Todor.
Snarled a priestess in a frayed robe.
He betrayed you, Your Grace. Soon after the Nilfgaardians arrived, within hours in truth, he offered his labour and strength. They didn't even need to ask. Forged arms and armour for them, all for imperial gold.
Meve gripped the beaten man's beard, tugged upwards, and looked him in the eyes.
Did you forge the hooks and the tips for those spears?
I did, Your Grace.
It was fine work.
Growled the Queen.
Damned fine.
Show him mercy, milady!
Cried a withered old man in a flour-spattered apron.
When the black-clad bastards captured my son, they were eager to hang him. Todor spoke for him, saved his life.
He helped me too.
Hollered a woman in the crowd.
I were hungry. He shared what little he had.
The townsfolk began shouting over one another. Some told of the blacksmith's noble deeds. Others labelled him a traitor, deserving of a cruel and violent end. Meve turned back towards the field hospital, pondering the case, then spotted her soldiers' corpses laid out in rows. Had it not been for Todor, there might not have been so many.
Lashed? Ooh, that's gonna hurt, boy. But it won't hurt as much as sweet demise.
20 soldiers died today, wresting Cavaldon from Nilfgaard's grip.
Said Meve, her tone cold and unforgiving.
'Twas your iron that felled them. 'Twill be your blood that pays the debt. 5 lashes for each of the fallen.
Todor's torturers were several.
20
as
times
no
5
one
is
man's
100.
arm could complete 100 blows. Amazingly, Todor survived the ordeal, but his body had been broken. He'd never put hammer to anvil again, and spent the rest of his days a beggar.
He weren't a bad person, milady. He strayed, aye, but deserved no such fate.
I've tried this whole time to do mostly the high morale thing. And it ends up working against me. Like, all those lashes, he can't be a freaking blacksmith anymore.
Your Majesty, the hut's untouched. Ripe grain in the fields, 'tis hard to believe. I feared we'd have another Edirn here, with the Blackclads setting fire to all.
I feared nothing of the sort. Nilfgaard's not stupid. Lands it aims to hold, it doesn't destroy. And Willem did bend the knee to the Emperor.
Alright, let's see what's going on here. Standard battle, let's go.
I'm coming, I'm coming. New orders? No? Ah.
Yes? I smell a leak.
My disgrace ends here! Time I wandered away!
Must be an important lesson in this. But what?
Left, right, left, right.
Catch him! He's worth 20 florins!
Okay. I was hoping they would play a few more cards.
Ours is not to reason why.
What do you want of me?
I'm coming, I'm coming.
Used to be, I hunted game. Men bring more coin. Think I'm a fear?
Wise choice.
Fight for the Emperor and you might be freed! To work! Obedience or the lash!
Wow, the buffs are what got him in the end.
$152, $154. I live to serve you.
You mad? Don't shake that! Your life is mine now!
Thing about slings, they hide well.
Jericania, source of the best goods.
I'm a won't say.
Man, they gotta make this so complicated to traverse. And then throw crap all the way in the back. It definitely loses some brownie points, from me at least, with the way that they've designed traversal.
Must be an important lesson in this. But what?
Give me a time.
Oh, Lyrian lummoxes.
Left, right, left, right.
I'll relieve you of that pouch.
Again and again and again.
What do you want of me?
No.
This could hurt. Order!
Ever have a stone knock out one of your teeth?
Of course, as you wish, master. That was not in the spell books.
Our ballista at your command.
Your life is mine now.
Wise choice.
They're going to be spinning all their cards. And I'm still better than them on points.
Brach! Scheiß! In train!
There you go. You got 4 cards. Where I got 6.
Hundred and 102, 103.
Enough chit-chat. Draw your weapon.
It's too bad this one has no zeal.
Left, right, left, right.
We must trust each other.
Hundred and 52, 154.
Have it the white of an eye from half a league away.
You can try to win them all, but you won't.
Oh, Lyrian lummoxes.
Off to the front yet again.
Quiet, or the Commissar will hear.
That's what I should have waited on. Hit him where it hurts. Yeah, we're gonna go down and around. This is cool. Where's my phone at? Okay, let's do this puzzle. Whatever the heck it is. Okay, it's called the Cattle Conspiracy, probably. The Cattle Conspiracy. Yeah, I'm not heartless. And the war effort's gotten me a ton of money, so we can afford
Broadhead
to
now
pay for that
loomed
stuff.
before Meve and her force. Once famous for its glowing forges and clanking manufactories, the city now stood silent. Why, you might ask? Because Mahakam. Decades past, it had opened its gates to human merchants and dwarven arms, exquisitely crafted and not nearly as dear as those made by man. The caravans had simply stopped coming to Broadhead. When its black-clad garrison spotted the Lyrians approaching, they'd hastily fled, left the city's gates open wide. Yet, they did not leave empty-handed. Their convoy comprising at least a dozen wagons loaded ostensibly to the hilt.
With what might they have fled?
With something damn heavy,
replied Gascon, squinting his eyes.
Look at this. 2 horses to pull each wagon, and the wheels cut deep into the road.
What they've taken from my city,
began the Queen.
they've taken from me. And I will have it back. Follow me!
Meve spurred her horse and galloped off in pursuit of the fleeing caravan. When the Blackclads realized they had no hope of escape, they planted pikes and feet, bracing for the assault.
I just want to know what they took. I'm doing every single fight I can. There's going to be no Blackclads at all in this region.
Stop! Whatever you carry belongs to me! They gain ground! Dal Seifel!
Wise choice.
Gloire!
I'm coming.
I smell a leak.
Have it the white of an eye from half a league away.
Got a death wish?
For Demavend!
Yeah! Yeah! Order!
Tell me you jest.
Your life is mine now.
Company! Forward march!
Oh, could murder a pint.
Enough! I refuse to die for these scraps!
Meve personally, and none too gently, shackled the Nilfgaardian commander, a young nobleman with a precisely trimmed moustache. Like many noble Imperials, he spoke fluent common.
The wagons. What's in them, Captain?
Scrap, Your Majesty.
The Imperial promptly replied. Noting the Queen's confusion, he elaborated.
To be melted down and recast into arrowheads and spear tips. Our engineers originally planned to use the foundries in Broadhead, yet these proved too primitive. We were ordered to remove the scrap, take it elsewhere.
Any pride from the victory vanished in an instant, and Meve swelled with anger, but also with shame. The shame came from realizing that to the invader her realm was naught more than a weak, underdeveloped backwater. Meve slammed the chest she'd opened shut.
Blast it! Back to Broadhead. Let's ride.
Crumbling walls, shattered windows, rotted wood. Broadhead was bleak, a dull shadow of its former self. As the Lyrians entered, the somber townsfolk glared at the arrivals and uttered not a word. Meve resolved to address the crowd.
Folk of Broadhead, you're free at last. The Nilfgaardian occupation is done.
Aye, and a new one starts now. Are you madman? Don't you recognize our banners? The Lyrian army stands before you. Oh, I recognize banners. Served neath them as a sergeant 15 long years. And then I came back to my own town. Know what I found? Hardship and squalor, your grace. All had gone to shite. On account of damn dwarves. Been flooding Rivia with their metal goods for years now. It's don't so much as light their pipes in their foundries no more. You call yourselves the Lyrian army. Colours and banners confirm it. Well, what about your arms? Weren't forged in us fires, but in Mahakams. By us worst foes. Hell, I even see some at knobheads in your ranks. So what freedom's it you're giving us, your grace? Freedom to beg in common? Not in Nilfgaard's mongrel tongue? Beg? What do you want about, man? There's no levy on goods from Mahakam. But without it, us workshops don't stand a chance. And ye, your grace, you wear their armour, bear their arms, and bring bearded bastards to our doorstep.
The dwarves are faithful allies. They help us because...
'Cause they've got something to gain. Simple as that.
Enough. Silence. Consider yourself lucky you've a merciful queen. I'd have had your head off by now. Move along.
Before Meve could leave the market square, Barnabas politely interjected.
Frankly speaking, there's a bit of truth to what the man says.
I'm perfectly aware of that. But what do you want?
I don't mean to toot my own horn, but perhaps I might be of some help?
Do tell how. I'm all ears.
Everything your folk make here, the dwarves of Mahakam make twice as fast and twice as well. You must find a so-called niche, an innovation. And it just so happens innovations
are your speciality.
At the risk of being immodest, exactly. Besides, it might serve the cause of peace to show the folk here, non-humans, are not all bad, that they can help. Not just steal human jobs and piss in their milk.
I'll consider it, Barnabas. I shall think and let you know.
The time came to leave Broadhead, so Meve summoned her advisors, eager to hear their counsel. They put forth ideas, many of merit, but the Queen would decide the city's future. After careful deliberation, the Queen approved Barnabas's proposal. He would manage the city's ailing industry and seek to restore it to health.
Barnabas, just please, do your best not to blow it all up.
Don't you worry, Your Grace. The only boom in this town's future is that of the economic sort.
At first, the Rivian townsfolk were skeptical of the Queen's decision, but Barnabas's schemes bore immediate fruit. Soon, the foundries and manufactories were bustling with life. Before long, Meve herself received new goods produced there.
Okay, good. I knew that by doing that I would lose him as a card, but he's not even in my deck. There's one last puzzle on this damn thing. Okay. That's fine. These are the same Rivians who I caught thieving when handed over to the dwarves.
The wind howls like a ghastly apparition.
Okay, let's do this last freaking puzzle. But there's loot over here somewhere first. Okay. Where's my phone at? Okay. Would you stop being stuck, please? Okay. This might be the last puzzle in the whole game, if we're lucky. Because these puzzles are done, and I don't like them. But, workforce. Once again, this guy's coming in clutch.
My spirit's willing and how, but these damn boots are killing me.
See if he's hid any coin in his pockets. Or his owns.
There's been a mistake. I'm no mage.
Okay, so now he wants me to put this alchemist
Greetings.
here.
What is it?
And do nothing with it. Okay, so
Not going into the fray already, are we?
oh. That was victory. Alright, so we just have this last little bit. And I don't need to do that because I'm...
When Meve saw Reynard's usually stoic visage rent by a half-moon grin, she knew he brought particularly good news.
Your Grace, our toil has borne fruit. The liberated towns of Rivia have hired an outfit of mercenaries conveyed to your command, along with wishes for a speedy victory.
Meve cast an eye over the long column of hired soldiers, taking in their top-notch arms and battle-hardened faces. Her gaze lingered longer on their banners, surprised to see some bearing the Caldwell crest, suggesting Dragomir had proven worthy of the trust she had extended him.
With support like this to bolster our ranks, our way grows easier,
said the Queen with a smile.
Send the townsmen a letter. Say their queen thanks them for their devotion to the realm, and when the time comes, she shall reward them fittingly.
Well, that's nice. Your Majesty, the priestess who cares for this temple has in possession a fragment of a magical object.
Rivia Castle. Seems our journey nears its end.
That end could yet prove tragic. We've daunting tasks ahead. Pride. It's all I ever felt pondering those walls.
The game
Yet
just
now,
saved.
To behold them from below, I truly do wish we hadn't built them so tall.
There it is. After 5 turns on turn ends, destroy 3 random enemies. We're doing it. There we go. Save that deck. 2 out of 6 golden chests.
The castle of
I don't really
Rivia
care.
now loomed before the Lyrians. Water surrounded it on 3 sides, and dual defensive walls studded with podgy turrets completed its perimeter. It was famously difficult to take, and had changed hands only once, a few months before, when traitors opened its gates to the Nilfgaardians. Foreign banners waved upon the walls. The Golden Sun and General Epdahi's crest on Rivia's walls. The walls of home. There was somber silence among the troops, the glee and pride of many triumphs suddenly gone. For each knew if the Queen ordered an assault, most would lie dead by sunrise.
Dang, that's rough.
Your Majesty,
began Reynard in a reassuring tone.
We needn't strike quickly. We've time on our side. To prepare would be wise. 2 months, I wager. Perfectly enough. We stop supplies from getting through. They'll capitulate, I've little doubt. Or at worst, be too weak to defend the fortress.
Reynard's reasoning was sound. There was no mercy. Meave had the upper hand for the first time in this war.
So if I withdraw...
These invaders have grown fond of Rivia Castle,
said Meave.
So let them stay and rot. Reynard, erect road barricades and guard posts between city and citadel. Gascon, seize all boats, barges, anything that floats. Stop anything from entering from the lake. Move!
Soon, Rivia Castle stood isolated from the world outside its walls. All roads leading to it were blocked, impassable. Fishing boats, a cordon, embraced the fortress on Loch Escalot. The lanterns on their bows glowed like fireflies in summer. Then, an emissary from the castle brought a message for the Queen. General Ep Dahi wished to meet, face to face, and half the way between the citadel and the Lyrian camp.
Well, well, some general,
smirked Gascon.
We've barely snapped the trap shut, yet he's already shaking in his knickers.
Meave proceeded to the meeting point without delay. A lone rider soon appeared on the horizon. He came adorned in rich black robes, their golden trim shimmering in stray sunbeams. She'd seen him before, in Edirn, through the megascope.
You came as I requested. Good. Very good.
I couldn't possibly refuse such a courteous invitation, especially as compared to your previous missive. The art of diplomacy, you've improved your grasp.
Your realm fell quickly. I expended little strength in seizing it. This left me much time to study. But please, we must set aside this bitterness. I'd like to formally welcome you to Rivia, dear Queen.
I see you've readily adopted the role of gracious host in my home.
In point of fact, I've grown fond of the castle. Fortifications impressive, atypical of the north. Not so your brave soldiers, whom we shall pick off like ducks. I pity them, in fact.
Dry your eyes, General. Rest easy. I've no plans for a quick assault. I shall first wait to hear the rumbling in your bellies.
Remarkable. You truly believe you can win this war? I've not been in the north long, but have discovered something all the same. You don't grasp complex ideas. You know Nilfgaard is large, but your minds don't fathom its enormity. You see, for every army you defeat, another will come to take its place. One larger and better equipped than the one before. Even now, as we so pleasantly chat, Army Group East is en route to lift your siege. Due to arrive tomorrow. And do you know what will happen when they do? They will crush you against your own castle's walls, like the maddening flea you are.
A charming analogy, but get to the point. Why'd you ask for this meeting?
For this very reason. I wish to see you with my own eyes.
They did not see enough in Edirn? Are you such an admirer of feminine beauty?
You flatter yourself. No, in you, I see an animal. Game. Prey. And as the hunt's due to start soon, I needed a more detailed image of the beast I'll be looking for.
You? On a hunt? Those delicate hands have never held spear or bow. Nout sharper than a letter opener, I wager. Tomorrow you will not be on a hunt. Tomorrow you will be at war. You best pray to all your gods you don't find me.
Without awaiting a response from General Ep Dahi, Meve pivoted and turned toward camp. Her pace was quick, despite a heavy heart.
Interesting.
As a rule, human fortifications aren't worth a pound of shield marshite.
And I thought Rosberg had strong walls.
Black Rayla.
Gonna be one hell of a night! Ah! Ah! Ah!
There we go.
Meve's closest advisors already awaited her in the command tent. In a few brief words, the Queen gave a report of the meeting, only with great effort masking the quavering in her voice.
An army, an immense one, approaches from the west. If we meet in open battle, we stand not a chance.
Damn it! Why did no one warn me?
Our scouts were discovered, captured. It must be that.
We must flee? Not at all heroic, I admit, but sure as hell better than being trampled into the dirt.
Easily said, but for a problem. Our force is chiefly infantry. The army that draws near includes cavalry, several regiments. We cannot hope to escape them. We cannot hope to hide.
What do you advise?
We've two options. Capitulate,
Out of the question.
or take the castle. Tonight.
Suppose for a moment it's possible. Tell me how and at what cost. Are we to scale a mountain of comrades' corpses to reach the top of the wall?
That's a good
I know
question.
we're at war and many die. But to command our troops to take that citadel is to condemn them to certain death.
Rivia's walls are unassailable, I fully agree. But there's more than one way to take any fort, and this fort too.
I think I like where this is going.
I know this citadel like no one else. I know its one potential weakness. The boat landing.
Wait, that narrowest of piers between the two turrets? The one where the fishermen would land?
The same. As I'm sure you recall, Your Grace, at that narrow pier's end stands a narrow door leading straight into the fortress. A small detachment could approach unnoticed, overwhelm any sentries, and get inside.
What then?
They would need to pass through the fort to the winch in the guardhouse. Open the gate for the rest of the force.
Reynard, I'll be honest. It sounds right mad.
Perhaps, but as options
I like
go,
this guy.
we have it alone.
And I'm to choose to send folk there? Most certainly to die.
You needn't choose anyone, for I volunteer, and will take only those willing to do the very same.
Bloody wretched plan.
And you've a better one, do you?
Of course. I'll go instead.
Beg your pardon? I don't.
Face it, Reynard, you couldn't sneak past a corpse. Sound like a bloody tambourine in that armour. Apart from which, you're Meve's right hand. So you ought to be by her side when the fighting starts.
Oh, this is some top tier like decision making. Reynard leading the man.
First
I agree.
Reynard, I'm grateful. Well done, my friend.
Thank you, Your Grace.
But truth be told, I did indeed hear you walking to the tent from the other side of camp. And yes, you know Rivia Castle better than anyone else, but the assault must transpire silently. Gascon will lead the force.
Understood, Your Grace.
Cheers, Meve. I'll try not to disappoint.
You won't, I'm sure. God speed you on your way, and please, try your damnedest not to die.
Gascon hand-picked his men, those most adept with daggers, not swords. Noiselessly, they glided through the dark toward the castle. the light of its lanterns blurred by the evening mist. Meve watched anxiously as the boats glided away, her heart pounding in her ears.
Goodness.
All depended on this mission.
Yeah, everything
the fate
does.
of her realms, perhaps all the North, the lives of her troops, and her own. Now there was naught she could do but wait.
Good luck,
she whispered, gazing at the fortress walls, cloaked by the dark that seemed to surround all now. The Lyrians prepared, their silence absolute, in darkness, illuminated only by the pale light of the moon. Meve was restless. She paced nervously in a circular pattern, awaiting the signal they'd agreed upon.
Blast, it's taking long. Much, much too long.
Finally, a torch's faint glow appeared atop the towering walls. It disappeared, then glowed again, and one more time around. Meve leapt in the air, and as she did so, barely stifled a cry of utter joy.
They made it! It worked!
Oh, thank goodness.
Moments later, Lyrians in the hundreds burst from the trees. The Nilfgaardian defenders loaded their catapults and ballistae. They did so slowly, convinced the castle walls remained impenetrable. Then they heard chains, grinding and clinking, and the sound sent shivers down their spines. Bewildered, they watched the main gate rise as the attacking force rushed forth. General Epdahi dispatched an elite unit to take back the winch at once. Yet he saw this was in vain and all was lost when Meve rode into the castle courtyard. Meve had begun the day known as a great warrior. Yet by night's end, legend was the cloak she wore. Her shield stopped powerful blow after blow.
This is so legend.
As her
I love
blade
it.
found gaps in her foe's black armor.
This is such a good narrative.
At first, Nilfgaardians scoured the fray in search of the queen, hoping to prove great heroes. Soon, she was their chief scourge, and they began to flee before her blade that sung their death.
Retreat! Retreat!
What was this extraordinary vigor that surged through Meve? Naturally, she wished to liberate her castle and realm, drive off the invaders, defeat the arrogant General Epdahi. But in that moment, above all else, she longed to fight her way through to the guardhouse and bring Gascon's party relief.
Follow me! Move! Move!
Meve had expected the worst, a bloodbath, piles of corpses. Yet all in the guardhouse was eerily quiet and calm. The door to the winch room lay shattered, true, but this was the one sign there'd been any sort of struggle. What happened here, she thought. Cautiously, she entered, looking, searching for any trace of Gascon and his fighters. Instead, she spotted Willem, curled up in a corner, clutching his bloodied belly, his fingers not enough to stop all the holes. Meve tore off her cloak and went to stem the bleeding.
Willem, what happened here?
My wrongs. I sought to right them.
Wheezed the prince.
Please, forgive me.
The young prince choked on this last word, did not manage to utter it, before his eyes went dull. Moments later, her men entered the room to find the queen kneeling, pounding the wall with her fists, her eyes flooded with tears. Willem lay motionless beside her, covered by her cloak.
Oh no. Is that because I didn't parley with him? Oh no.
Gascon pushed his way through the other foot soldiers. He knelt beside the queen and whispered what had happened. His unit had not managed to reach the gate in time, but Willem had. Upon seeing Lyrian forces converging on the fort, the prince had rushed to the guardhouse and opened the gate himself. By the time Nilfgaardians closed it again, it was too late. The Lyrians were through. The queen rose, her fists clenched, her shoulders rigid, her knuckles white. Her face betrayed no sorrow, no despair, just rage. hot as a forge, immeasurable.
Now's not the time to mourn.
Seethed Meave, struggling to stay calm.
Now's the time for war, for slaughter, revenge. With victory today, we'll recover our home, return to our kin and set our blades aside at last. Yet until victory is ours, they must drink. Drink greedily of Nilfgaardian blood!
The Lyrians were at the brink, near their breaking point. They'd followed me for thousands of miles, over snow-clad peaks, through forbidding swamps. They'd fought, survived countless battles at her side.
Oh my god.
And though their gazes were now weary, she knew they'd follow her into fire.
Your Grace, the Blackclads. They've holed themselves up in the upper keep. We went to breach the wall, alas to no avail.
Meave nodded, twirled her sword, then leapt upon a mount. Her eyes spoke pure determination.
So we'll bloody well try again.
This is the best narrative. Oh my god. Story battle, standard battle. This is phenomenal. I am overwhelmed with just how freaking good the story is.
This is the end, Ekdahi. Do you hear me? I shall stick your head on a pike!
I'm coming, I'm coming. One boat's all I need.
Alright, this is it.
In retreat!
So wait. Reveal a unit from each player's deck. If yours has more power, boost an ally by 10.
I must thank you. Your fortress has superbly solid walls.
It's cocky some. Oh my god.
Ours is not to reason why.
Archers, let it be night. Obscure the sun with arrows. Enough! I do not need to hear this. Kill her!
Okay, these are much better ballistas.
Fools! I'm surrounded by fools!
Okay.
Left, right, left, right.
13. Good luck. Yeah, you're not gonna beat my Rayla. Come on.
Alba!
Again.
Oh, this is gonna be great.
Again.
13. 6. See, you gotta keep doing that.
Waarom?
Sucks for you.
Catch!
Yeah, boy. I like that. Definitely like
Back to
that.
the dust whence you came!
Definitely like that. Go ahead and throw fire down.
You'll never take me alive!
Meave? Are you serious? Oh, this is so... See the full power. 8. Okay, you might be able to beat that one. Ooh, bad luck in the draw.
Able that ass.
Okay, so I have him in my deck already. So here's what I'm gonna do. Ooh, I gotta play a card still. Just in case. 12. 4. Ooh. Like, you're really giving it a go, aren't you? You're trying so hard.
Company! Forward march!
Yikes. Oh, I still gotta do my stuff.
Hey?
Tell me you jest.
Give me a target.
As you command.
If I can get 2 more cards. We're gonna do...
Alright, that's no problem.
Eight. 5.
Gloire and Katza!
Who's my highest troop? Sure. 13. Come on, dude. You keep trying. $11, $6. You keep trying to go for that buff.
God!
Now I'm a little bit nervous.
Off to the front yet again.
Alright, they're gonna win. I just know it.
My prescription, a bit of bloodletting.
Quiet, or the commissar will hear.
This is intense. I'm... Ugh. Oh my god. This is how good Gwent can be.
Tell me where!
I can't believe I won that. That was insane. That was insane.
Nilfgaard had the upper hand, yet the black-clad spirits had suffered. They now made more use of shields.
I'm gonna have to save that clip.
When Mead finally broke through their line, they raised their arms in surrender. Rivia Castle had fallen. It was hers once more.
Trocker! Neng to Wien!
Meve showed her prisoners of war mercy, knowing full well they'd only followed orders. Death would be the fate of only Ardal ep Dahi, the one Nilfgaardian who'd issued those commands. Alas, the general had disappeared. A prisoner revealed ep Dahi had fled as soon as the Lyrians had surged towards the upper keep. He had glided down to the lower castle in a wicker basket for transporting food. Curled up beneath potato skins and other scraps, he'd scurried away not unlike a common maggot. Meve cursed her luck and leaned back against a merlin. Dawn was yet a few hours off, but the horizon had already begun to glow blood red. The Nilfgaardian reserves now drew near, too late to prevent the castle's fall.
I'll get him,
muttered the queen, more to herself than anyone else.
I swear on all that's sacred I'll catch the bastard. But now we've a pressing matter to see to. Preparing the defense.
That night the war turned, with the battle for Rivia Castle as its fulcrum. Meve's great victory, not only retaking the stronghold in a single evening, but also fending off a further invading army, proved the Nilfgaardian Colossus had feet of clay. The armies of the north had united and now seemed to be on the attack everywhere. Imperial forces, while still far more numerous, lay stretched over thousands of miles. Their position was untenable, and Nilfgaard's commanders knew this. In a decisive battle, they yet stood a chance, so they gave said battle, and suffered a resounding defeat. Just a few months on from that memorable night in Rivia, the Imperial army was in utter disarray. Aldersburg, the fortress, remained a last point of resistance. General ep Dahi and what had survived of Army Group East had dug in there. This place, where Nilfgaard had triumphed grandly in the war's early days, would now bear witness to its impending defeat. It seems history, after all, has a sense of justice, or humor, or both. Though Meve had already reclaimed her realm, she refused to retire her sword just yet. For King Demavend had requested her aid in purging Edirn of the invader. How could she refuse? She owed the king a favor, firstly. Yet she also had a burning desire to settle the score with ep Dahi.
Demavend's envoy and I spoke, Your Majesty. The king has Aldersburg surrounded. He awaits and won't begin the assault till you arrive.
Good. I truly hate to miss it. Tell the troops to prepare. Gear and ire.
Of course, Your Grace.
Yes? Is there something else?
Pardon my boldness, Your Grace, but I can't help but be concerned. You don't sleep. You have the air of illness about you.
Reynard, I just buried my son, who died in my arms, goddammit.
Yes. Died a hero, Your Majesty. I wasn't sure Willem could ever wash away the shame. He'd betrayed his country, his mother, aligned with the fiercest of our foes. But his actions in Rivia washed away his wrongs. Willem showed himself worthy to be called your son. I don't say any of this to deepen your grief, Your Majesty. I mean merely for you to be proud of him.
You're right. I thank you, Reynard. That I needed to hear. We've talked enough. We must march on to Aldersburg.
Oh, heck. There's a whole extra section. No, we're going... I'm like an hour past when I should be in bed, so we're going to have to call it. Let's take a look here. Saving the game. Great. Let's go ahead and save the game. Guys, that was phenomenal. The exposition, phenomenal. And if we beat the game on the next playthrough, phenomenal. I can't wait. I'm so excited. And I hope you guys are here with me to dive into that. Until then, guys, I appreciate you taking the time to watch this video and to interact with me. And I hope that you have a wonderful rest of your day. Until next time, guys, this is Alpha Phenomenon Gaming, signing off.